this. Man, Michael is always going through his vocal warm-ups thinking he's some type of professional people.
Sit on a potato panotis.
There's no way that's a real thing.
That actually is. I was in choir in college, helped my GPA.
Wow, I heard that helped you get all the ladies, I heard too.
You know what? Anyways, it helped my GPA a lot, and it was a free trip to Chicago, and it was a free trip to Los Angeles and San Diego, all that area. So, joke's on you. Gave me an A, did some singing. Cuss, here it is. It's sit on a potato pan otis, and it's the same backwards. So it's sit on a potato pan otis, sit on a potato pan otis, sit on a potato pan, boom, boom. Excuse me. I gotta grab some water.
Well, apparently you learn something new every day.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Backstop Banter, where you learn vocal warm-ups.
Yeah, where not only do you talk about baseball, you learn vocal warm-ups as well. Because, I mean, who doesn't come to this show for that? I mean,
I'm sorry, that was actually the Wiggles. I know who you know the Wiggles are.
I do, actually. Okay, but whatever. Yeah. That was an interesting development to start the show. But you know what, Michael?
Just so you know, there's a woman Wiggle now. I know you don't know that.
I didn't. No, not even a little bit. Not even slightly. Couldn't tell you that.
She's the yellow one. She's Emma.
Emma.
Mm-hmm.
So does this mean you're a big Wiggles fan, Michael?
Yeah, love the Wiggles. Lackey, he's really good. The purple one. He's got curly hair like me, but he cut it back, so you know. Anthony,
I'm starting to question you.
I have children. Anthony is still there. He's the Blue Ranger. Wow, the Blue Wiggle still. He's like 80.
Well, he's clearly the best one then. I mean, just saying.
Excuse me. Sorry.
With a name like that.
I think I got COVID. I got something stuck in my throat.
Yeah, no thanks. Good thing you're on the other side of the screen.
Connie, how's your day been, man?
You know what? I just watched the Yankees win their 7th game in a row. I'm going to a Yankee game on Saturday where Cole is the projected pitcher again.
Okay.
Like he was the last time I was supposed to go, but he got COVID. But, I mean, he can't get COVID again. So, I mean, yeah, he should pitch. Yankees -1.5. Alex, listen.
Hey, Alex. I miss you, man.
I do miss Alex. I'm trying to convince Alex to come back, by the way.
Alex, get on the show right now. That would be aqua amazing. Do you know what aqua is? Acapella? Aqua amazing?
That was a great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, Alex, we're doing fine. Alex, I think I owe you money for those fantasy leagues still, but I just never remember. I really don't.
Oh, I don't know but I don't remember.
I feel like I paid you for one of them and not the other, but I also feel like I didn't pay you for either of them. So I really don't know.
Remember that time he joined the show and then he cut us midstream because he left?
Yeah, because he ended the broadcast like an idiot instead of just leaving. Yeah,
it's okay if you didn't pay him.
He said, "Imagine how I feel almost in 40 leagues." Yeah, see, that's what we call having a problem, Alex. There's levels to this.
He may need your money so he can pay for his other leagues.
No, he better not be using my money to pay for other leagues. And then what happens when I win the league and that league is $20 short on the pot?
Excuse me. Alex is Michael, good for clearly.
But you know what, Michael? Let's get into it, okay? I'm doing fine. How are you, actually?
Thank you. I'm glad you asked. I'm doing well. The kids are starting school. I've got 2 4-year-olds that are just started kindergarten. They're starting a little early, but they turn 5 next month. So that's been interesting. My youngest daughter, who is 3, she's been going to my sister's house to spend time with her daughter and son when he gets there. So we got like a babysitter watching 3 kids there. But sad days like this because I just closed. So I went in from 1 to 9 p.m. and brushed home. Well, 9:30 by the time I get home and everything. And so I haven't seen my kids other than waking up to send them out. Oh, Alex, thank you. Was that not the sweetest?
Son's message on the fridge. I missed this.
Yeah, I put it on I tweeted Instagram and Facebook, but I know you don't have Facebook. My son sent me a video, or my wife did, where he actually, her and him, wrote, "Hey, Dad," with magnets. Didn't write it. "I love you," and he read it.
Oh, pulling on the heartstrings just to start the show off.
I know. You'll learn one day to have feelings. Oh, look, now you got COVID.
Yeah, I know. See, it's transmittable through the screen, guys, if you didn't know that. All right.
You can get a virus. Your computer can get a virus.
Giggle, giggle. But you know what? We're going to start off with these wild cards. And, you know, not for any particular reason. I just think that the wild cards, you know, very important at the moment, especially because, you know, one team gained 8.5 games in 24 days. Just saying. I mean, just say I don't know who that team is. It might be the New York Yankees, I'm pretty sure. You know, the team that Michael thought should sell off at the trade deadline.
Okay.
But
okay.
Oh no, don't okay me. Mister.
I
don't think that are they really gonna make deals? What's the point of them making deals? You know?
Okay. The Yankees were not making the playoffs. No way. But they made great deals to be relevant. Kudos to the Yankee organization. I will say that. But if they did not make those moves, they were not making it. You can't say that they were. There was no way they were making it.
I don't know. I'm always confident in my team.
No.
I'm always confident in my squad.
And that's good. I'm good. Like, I wish that we could make deals like that. And when I say we, guys, for the ones watching, I mean Cincinnati Reds. You all should know that by now. I wish we could make deals like that, but we're just not a big enough farm system where we can. We don't. And I'm going to say we don't have the money to make those deals, but y'all didn't spend a dime on the deal either.
Not a single one. Not a zero.
Excuse me.
Rizzo makes an impact on the field in the clubhouse. Let me tell you something. I'm a big Luke Voit guy. Love Luke Voit. Led the league in home runs last year, top 10 in the MVP voting. He made some comments that I, you know, kind of want to get into as well when we talk about the Cohen comments at the same time. But what Rizzo does for the defense on that team, like, I feel like you don't realize what a good first baseman does for you until you don't have one. Like, Voit is a mid. He's mid on the defensive side. Obviously brings all the power in the world, but there's a few plays that I know he's not making that Rizzo has made so far already in his Yankee career.
Right.
And I mean, it's weird because, you know, you don't think of first base when you think of the Yankees in a weird way. I feel like you always think of, like, you know, the big names of like a Judge who's an outfielder, Mantle who played outfield, Babe Ruth who, you know, outfield pitcher type of thing. You never think of first base. But I mean, you look back on their history, they've always had good fielding first basemen. Like Don Mattingly was great in the field. Then they went to Tino. Then, you know, Mark Teixeira was there for a lot of years who won Gold Gloves all the time. And then, you know, they kind of had a little bit of a lull. They went, you know, a little deep down. But now Rizzo's there. And don't get me wrong, it's probably going to only be for 2 months. But hey, these 2 months, 3 months, you know, hopefully 4 when they're in the World Series, I'm gladly accepting these 4 months of great defensive play at first base. But like I said, I want to talk about the wild card because it's heated up quite a bit. So
before you do that, let me just, because Alex is still here, I'm pretty sure. Alex, I want to ask this, and of course, Scotty, while he has time to tap, do you think Rizzo will sign back? And do you think Rizzo doesn't and signs actually back with the Cubs? Because I want to know what Alex thinks. I trust him more than you.
No, I think Rizzo would sign back with the Yankee. Well, actually, no, I think it's more of a Yankee decision if Rizzo comes back. Because I think Rizzo would, but I feel like it depends on the contract because I don't think they want to give him – like if it's 3 years, I don't know, like 20 – nah.
20 million for Rizzo?
I mean, he's only making like 7 right now.
Yeah, but do you think that's going to change? I mean, we just had like Tatis, who's like making 10 years.
All right. We're really going to compare where Tatis is in his career versus Rizzo?
I mean,
a little bit of an age gap there, brother.
There's an age gap, but I don't think there's $100 million gap.
How much you think Rizzo's going to get?
I mean, do you think a 3-year, $20 million?
3 years, 20. I'm saying what the Yankees would bring him back at. I'm not saying it's what he's worth.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't think the Yankees would sign him for more than if he reaches double digits. I don't think that they sign him.
So if it's reached double digits,
I could see it. I mean, I could see him signing.
When you say double digits, are you meaning years or
no, money wise?
Okay,
because I don't think any. Listen, if some team signs him to a 10-year contract, they're on crack.
I've seen crazier things.
So that'll be the first shock at the time. But
right,
I think anything below, $10 million a season, they would think about it. But anything closer and up on that, they're gladly letting him walk through the door. And I can see him signing back with the Cubs. I mean, that's why I don't understand why Cub fans were so mad. Like, don't get me wrong, you traded Rizzo, Baez, Bryant, and all them, but like, it's already been linked that Baez and Rizzo might come back.
Right.
Like, I haven't heard anything about Bryant, but I think he's.
If I was Bryant, I wouldn't come back.
I mean, I wouldn't either. If I was Rizzo and Baez, I wouldn't go back. But maybe Rizzo. He's so loved there, so I could see it. But
my only thing, even as we're just kind of talking about, I think if Rizzo were to go back or even consider going back, he's loved so much there. I don't think they'd offer him the most. Like, it's just a friendly contract, and I don't think Rizzo would do that.
I mean, he signed a pretty team-friendly contract to begin with, which is why he's not making too much money. So you kind of wonder, this could be his last chance at some solid money. I mean, not that he's struggling for money by any imagine, but yeah, it's probably his last chance to make a solid amount. So,
Daddy.
Oh, cool. Not bad. But all right.
If you like that kind of merch, we don't have it on ours, but you can go to teespring.com/store/unwrapped, and you can find all of our merch with Backstop Banter, Count the Bucket, which we don't have shirt yet, the Hard Count.
No, this is true. Generational
Sports with a Z, not Generational Z. I did it finally.
Generation Z Sports, as you like to call it.
Well, it just seems like it would be right, but I love Generational Sports.
I know, right? Fantastic name that I came up with.
You needed some help, and you got great help. But anyways, so guys, go to teespring.com/stores/unwrapped to go buy your merch and support Backstop Banter.
Yes, sir. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, you'll see everything ticking on by, baby. So, if you forget anything at any point in the show, just look down. Just look down. And you'll be taken care of. I mean, you will. It's true. All right,
coming up next.
It's right there. Bam. Let's get into these wild cards.
Yes.
So the Yankees currently hold the first wild card in the AL. They are 70.
As of yesterday.
No, as of today.
Were they not in first yesterday? I think when they
won
the doubleheader, they were first.
Oh, all right. You mean in
general?
I was just talking, at the moment or whatever. Okay. But they now have a +1 game advantage too in that.
Okay.
So the Yankees hold the first wild card. They're 70-52. Oakland is currently in the second wild card spot. They're 69-53. So they obviously have them in the loss column, which is very important because, I mean, this is what people always say too. It's not really how many games back you are or anything like that. It's really important how many games back you are in the loss column because, listen, you can make up wins. You can't make up losses. So the A's are 1 back of them. And then Boston is currently on the outside looking in. Hey, Boston fans, where you at, bro? I'm a little confuzzled where you guys went.
Hey, the Red Sox today. Yay.
They're 69-54. So they are 2 games back of the Yankees, 1 game back of the A's. And then Seattle still hanging around 66-56. They're 3 games back of the wild card spot. And then Toronto is still there, 63-56.
Toronto.
They're 4.5 games back, not 40.5. That'd be a bad situation. Even the Orioles,
the Diamondbacks, I think.
Are they? No. The Diamondbacks are only 25.5 games back.
Oh,
the Orioles are 30, by the way.
Oh, wow. Poor Orioles. We'll get into them a little bit later because it really breaks my heart. But
we will?
The Tampa and Orioles when we talk about that.
Yeah, there is one thing on this that I have no idea what you're talking about, but when we get there, we can get there.
It's probably the Sealand. It's Cleveland, but carry on. Shorthand. Sorry, man.
I was like, what is Cland?
I figured because I actually myself, when I looked at my notes as I was pulling them, I was like, what? Oh, I know what I meant there. Okay.
And then we'll go over to the National League. The Dodgers are currently firmly in place of the first wild card. They're 9 games up. So it ain't really, they're not sweating too much. They're 75-46. And the Padres have the second wild card at 67-56. But, Michael, I know that
67?
you're probably –
okay.
67-56, yeah. Michael, I know that you're probably very happy. Your Reds are only one game back, 66.
Are we just one now?
Oh, yeah,
wow.
That's what it says. It might be just because the Padres haven't played today, so they got the half game, obviously, and all that. But 66-57, you're one game back, only one behind in the loss column, like I said, which is the one that really matters. And then St. Louis is still there. They're 4 games back, but hey, you can't count that out.
We're one game back and they're 4 games back?
Yes, sir.
Because we're 57 losses and they're 58 losses.
This is true. You've played more games than them.
Right. But I just think it's weird that the losses are that close. But you carry on. I'm sorry.
Like I said, you can make up the wins. So they have 5 wins to make up. You can't make up those losses, which they're 1 loss behind. But all right, Michael, we'll start on the AL. Like I said, I'd probably go with the Yankees, A's, Boston, and then I would go with Toronto over Seattle. As the main 4. I know Seattle is technically ahead of Toronto, but I just don't have the faith in them. I saw them play against the Yankees. It's not very good.
The only thing that I would say in their defense, as far as Seattle, is they're playing the Rangers and the Angels more than you guys are.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't have the faith. Like, that should be easy wins, but I still think it's not the, absolute lock of the century.
I mean, they're 8-2 of the last 10 games. I mean, they're on a streak. They're a streaky team where they play good. I'm just saying, don't count them out just yet.
All right, well then, good. You're helping answer the question.
Oh, Michael, I'm sorry.
No, you're helping. I'm saying, American League wild card. Who you got? Who's winning it? Who's the first wild card? Who you got second wild card? I mean, what are we looking at here?
I mean, right now, as hot as the Yankees have been, it's hard.
7 games in a row, by the way.
And
I think they've won 12 of their 13 last series.
Really, and I want to say they've won 13 of the last 15. No, wait, that's not it. That is a different stat. I want to say that they are like 13-20 or something like that. Like they're on a good, solid span here.
13-20. Well, that's not very good, Mike.
13 of 20.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
13 of 20. I'm sorry. 13-7. But
it has to be better than that because they're 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah, man, I guess it's even better than that.
No, let me look it up, Michael. I got you.
Okay, but really, the Yankees are just red hot right now. I want to say Boston for the second one, but they're 4-6 of the last 10. They're just not looking good. I mean, I think by the end of the season, the Blue Jays may overpass them now. So. That's great. I also think I'm going to owe you $1 since the Yankees made all these trades. The Blue Jays are not going to catch the Yankees unless something crazy happens. So I'm going to say it's going to be the Yankees and Oakland.
Now, Michael, this is something that I think might change your mind.
Okay.
Because this is an important thing to look at as well. So, like I said, Oakland 69-53, Boston is 69-54. Boston's currently a half game back because I guess they didn't play today or whatever. Who cares? But very important. Would you guess who has, all right, I'll say this. We'll say this. Oakland has 40 games left, and they have the second hardest schedule remaining this season.
Really?
They still have to play. They still have a 3-game set against the Giants, who are the best team in baseball. Right. I
guess they'll play NL West quite a bit, won't they?
They have some games against the Astros still, of course. And then, Michael, you scroll all the way down. Boston has the 25th hardest schedule in baseball.
Really?
They got some games against the Rays left. They do have some games against the Yankees left as well, I know. But they have a bunch of games left against the Orioles, I'll tell you that.
What about Blue Jays? What's theirs?
The Blue Jays are 24th. And then the Yankees is the 27th.
Wow.
Yankees have games remaining against the Rays, which are the last 3 games of the season, by the way. So that's going to be very interesting because the Yankees are 5 back right now in the division. But I mean, hey, if they can get it to 2 or 3 by the time that series comes, wow, is that big? I mean, and it's in Yankee Stadium those last 3 games of the season, so that could be your division on the line. But does that change your mind at all, Michael? Oakland has the second hardest remaining schedule. Boston 25th. The Blue Jays is 24th, and the Yankees is 27th.
If I were to change my answer, I would actually go with the Blue Jays over Boston in this with Oakland. I just feel like the Blue Jays have so much more to prove. The same basically as far as the rank of strength of schedule. I have more faith in the Blue Jays right now. They're back home. They've got a chip on their shoulder to play for the fans now. I think that makes it more entertaining for them and has them more of a drive. But I'm going to be ballsy and go ahead and say I'm going to stick with Oakland. Oakland has already been playing this tough of a schedule anyways, and they've got 69 wins.
Well, the Red Sox were off today, so that is why they're the half game back.
So they didn't lose.
No, they were the half game back, but they started 3-game series with Texas, so they should win those.
Well,
then they start a 3-game series with Minnesota, who the Yankees are playing right now, and they're just dreadful. Then they have a 3-game set with Cleveland.
Shout out Brendan Burns.
Then they go to Tampa for a 4-game series.
Ooh.
Then they play Cleveland again, and then they have Tampa Bay at home. You know, this is a weird schedule. Like, don't get me wrong. The Texas, Minnesota, Cleveland series should be pretty easy, and that's 9 games right there. Then you play Tampa for 4. Then you play Tampa again for 3. Then they go to the White Sox after Tampa.
Ooh.
And then they're at Seattle, so they should win those. And then it's kind of a cakewalk the rest of the year, though, because they play I was about to say the Ravens. Wow. They play the Orioles. They play the Orioles for 3, then the Mets for 2. Then it gets hard again because they play the Yankees. And then they play Baltimore again and then finish the season with Washington, who's just absolutely dreadful.
But I'm going to say this for you. They're going to lose some games that they're not supposed to lose.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's too for the fact that there's no scouting reports on some of these teams now. Like, as you get farther down, it's you're playing players that are called up just to get them experience. You've never seen them before. Nobody knows what to expect. And you're probably going to get an ace in there that throws 95 miles per hour but has a good changeup or a sinker. And you're like, okay, we did not see this coming. They got us.
Do you want to know who the A's have remaining?
The A's, I mean, of course, yes. I was just trying to think.
They got 3 with San Francisco starting tomorrow. Then they got 2 versus Seattle. 4 against the Yankees, which is very big. Very big. Mm-hmm. Then they get 3 at Detroit.
4?
4, yeah, a 4-game series in Oakland. Then they go to Detroit, which is easy wins. Then they're at Toronto, which is very important as well. And then they're versus the White Sox.
They versus the White Sox.
Well, that's what it says on the screen. You know
I know, but there's somebody else I've heard say that. I don't care who they verse. I'm like, it just sounds weird, but carry on.
Then they play Texas at home. No. On the road. I lied.
At Texas home. I knew what you meant, actually.
Yeah. Then they're home against Kansas City, home against the Angels, away. Oh, wait, no, I lied. They're at the Royals, at the Angels, home
versus. Would you just share your screen?
No. I could.
I mean, you're struggling here, man.
Listen, it's the verses and the at thing, and it just gets.
It gets confusing.
It's confusing.
Yeah, because versus means home, at means away.
Here we go.
Whoa, what is that chick over there? What are you looking at, man?
Whoa. Look at this. 45-25.
Hey, that's a deal.
I know. I could use some, chest support. So here we go. Here's the remaining schedule.
I'm going to have to blow it up on my screen. Guys, if you comment, sorry, I ain't seeing it.
Why? It's not big enough?
I'm 35, man.
All right, I'll zoom in, Michael. God.
Well, I've got it blown up. I see it fine now.
Well, I'll zoom in for the people.
Okay.
So, like I said, they got San Francisco, Seattle. I mean,
scroll up just a little bit if you don't care.
Okay.
So they took 3 of 4 from the White Sox.
No, they did not. They lost 3 of 4.
Oh, yes. They lost.
Yeah, for some reason, this website's stupid and has
I don't like that
as green. Yeah, that's so dumb to me. I don't know why.
Yeah. But, okay, so that's tough. Man, this is a big stretch for them then.
And then, like I said, then they're, San Francisco, that's not easy.
Mm-hmm. And
best
Seattle,
team in baseball. Seattle's, I mean, I'm not too scared of Seattle.
They're in a race, though. So, I mean, they're playing for relevance, So,
true.
I mean,
then they get the Yankees, who, like we said, hottest team in baseball.
I mean, they are.
Detroit's a layup, pretty much. But then you play back-to-back series versus Toronto and Chicago. That's definitely not where you like to be. Then it's soft, Texas, Kansas City. I wouldn't say the Angels are soft, but it's definitely not hard, not difficult. Right. Seattle, once again. Then you got Houston. Seattle again. Oh, I clicked on Houston by accident. Oops. Then Houston again to end the season.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Let's check the Blue Jays remaining schedule. Let's take again. Let's see what they got over here. Maybe they can sneak on in, but they are struggling right now. They're 4-6 in their last 10. So that is definitely not what you want to. That's not what you want at this point in the season.
Especially with 2 L's from Washington.
That is true. So you got Detroit coming up. Pretty easy there, I would say. 4 against the White Sox, though.
Thank you for going away from the soft hard.
You're so annoying. An absolute child he is, people.
Carry on.
4 against the Sox. Then you got 3 against Detroit. Baltimore's a layup. Oakland, difficult, obviously. Yankees, difficult. Layup with Baltimore. Tampa's obviously difficult. I think Minnesota's a layup at this point. Tampa Bay, difficult again. Minnesota, I would say layup again. Yankees, difficult. And then you finish the season off with Baltimore. So that's a layup just to end your season. It's an interesting race, to say the least, in my eyes.
September 28th series against the Yankees may end up being something very, very big.
So, are you sticking with your ace still, even after seeing everything?
My gut wants to switch to the Blue Jays.
I think I'm going to go Yankee Red Sox.
But I am going with my heart, and I'm still saying Oakland because they're going to prove it, and then they're going to scare somebody.
Yeah, and then
guarantee.
And then they're going to lose to the Yankees in the wild card like they always do.
I mean, probably so, but I mean, Oakland's a good little team, and
no, they are. They're not bad.
They're scrappy. Like they're scrappy. They got some mix of good pitching and good batting.
They are constantly, in the playoff picture.
That was the most worst description of a team ever.
Worst. Jesus, we're struggling with English today.
You're right. That was probably the best ever to describe a team. They got good pitching, and they got good batting. It's a good team. Playoff. Mark it down.
Oh, boy.
Dickie V.
Now let's go. Let's head on over to the National League, Michael.
Yes.
Because this could get you excited.
I've already been tinkering with looking at some of our schedule, and I'm pretty excited about it. You haven't said what our strength is, but I know we play Pittsburgh a lot, and I know we've got some other easy schedules.
Well, let's go back to the list. And Michael, I want you to close your eyes. Are they closed? I'm not looking. Close your eyes. Come on.
Okay, I'll do this. How about this?
I'm already on the other screen. All right, I'll tell you when to turn around.
Okay.
Now, I want you to take a guess where you think San Diego lands in the toughest schedule left.
Ooh, San Diego? In the division with the Giants, who's been great. Also, the Dodgers as well, some of the other West teams. I'm going to say they're probably around 10, 11, 12.
Michael, take a look at your screen.
Ooh. Ooh, number 1.
They have the hardest schedule in the league.
Wow, Oakland is second? I thought you said they were a little
I
bit
said they were
lower.
second.
Wow.
So let's take a look at their remaining schedule.
That's
just not what you want to see. You got 3 against Philly, who should be easy. This is the Padres.
Okay.
You got 3 against Philly, which should be easy, but they just lost 3 in a row to Colorado.
And they lost
swept.
1 by Arizona up there. I don't know what the other one is on that series, but they lost.
Oh, my God. They're struggling right now. What are they in their last 10 games? What are they in their last 10 games? Hold on, people. Let me scroll. 3-7 in the last 10. Oof.
Wow.
That is not what you like to see.
Yeah, 3-7. 3-game losing streak.
All
12
right,
games back.
But let's do this. Philly.
Let's go.
Philly should be a layup, and they're at home. Now, listen, I know we just said they lost, but to be fair, these games were on the road. Some road games, sometimes.
A West team traveling out west to Arizona, Colorado. I can see how that would hurt.
No, I'm not even saying that.
I mean, it's Colorado and Arizona.
I know you should win the games, but still, it's on the road.
Let's be honest. It's different than Cincinnati going to Arizona to play than it is.
Oh, no, absolutely. Just like I'm a little nervous that the Yankees have to play the A's in Oakland.
Right, because that's a transition.
Yeah, that's not what I like to see. I'll say that. But the Phillies, I like to think they're a layup, but they've gotten better.
I think Phillies take at least 1 game. Bryce Harper, MVP candidate. I think there's a game they lose on that.
And then they play the Dodgers, but here's the thing. I think they've had some success against the Dodgers this year. I think that they really wake up against the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's obviously a game.
So
it's home too. So
I would say that they at least lose 1 of these games
against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like sweeps are hard enough to get as it is. Now you're playing the Dodgers. You're not playing your best baseball at the moment. I mean, I don't know. I feel like sweep is a little much.
Let's just say we're not the, what would they call them? Slam Diegos this year.
San Diego. Yeah.
No, Slam Diego.
Then they got the Angels. Not a layup by any means. Then they go back to Arizona, who should be a layup. What we just saw, that they lost, 3 out of 4 games against them? So definitely not. Then they play Houston, who I believe has the 2nd best record in the AL, behind the White Sox.
Should be.
No, I lied. The Rays have the best.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I can't believe the Rays are that good. That's still wild to me. So they're tied for the 2nd best record, actually. You know what? That is so annoying. The fact that the Yankees have 70 wins and they're 5 games back of the division, and every other division leading team in all the other divisions only have 71 wins.
I'm sorry. It happens.
But whatever. Let's see. Then they're at Houston, and then they go back. They play they're home for Houston. They're home for the Angels.
Yeah.
And then, this is just not what you want to see. You're at the Dodgers for 3. You're at San Francisco for 4. You're at St. Louis, who is fighting for a wild card spot.
Mm-hmm. And they've actually been playing very good here lately.
And then, Michael, you play San Francisco again.
Oh, they're done.
Then you play Atlanta.
Then
you play Atlanta, who's been the hottest team, one of the hotter teams in baseball as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you finish the season at the Dodgers and San Francisco, who the Dodgers and San Francisco have their, playoff spots locked up, but they're fighting for first place in the division. So this isn't this isn't late in the year. Oh, we're going to rest some guys type of stuff. I mean, this is pretty daunting for the Padres.
Yeah. And the only thing I could see this Dodgers-San Francisco series between the two, where they start resting some players. So it could be a little bit different there. But then again, it could be the battle for that first place seed to have either the bye. Oh, wait, there is no bye, is there? No, there's a bye. One team gets a bye, don't they?
No.
Oh, yeah, 2 the wild card plays and then the 3. Yeah, I'm sorry.
This ain't football, baby.
I'm sorry. I was thinking the wild card or the two wild cards play the least of the two first place had a bye. I was way off there. I apologize, everyone. Please don't go check my credentials because they're not valid anyways. But anyways, I think the Dodgers could kind of put on the brakes a little bit here, rest some guys, and carry on to the postseason. But I also think that might not work out because, like you said, San Francisco is in first. Dodgers want that first. Everyone knows you want that first.
This is daunting.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not.
And Atlanta's even playing good now.
Like, this is a lot of Dodgers, Houston, San Francisco. I mean, Jesus. That's not what you want if you're the Padres.
No. And this is supposed to be their year.
Now, Michael, let's go. Do you know what your Reds are at?
Before you switch.
Okay.
Which I don't, and I still don't see them. So that makes me happy that you're at 18 and I don't see the Reds. So, yes. Right now, everyone loves Tatis.
This is true.
DeGrom might be shut down for the whole year. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that.
That is also true.
If they don't make the playoffs, do you think that totally rules out Tatis as MVP?
No, not even close. I mean, what does Mike Trout have 3 MVPs? He's been in the playoffs once.
True. But
the Padres are also in the best division in baseball.
But Mike Trout is like Michael Jordan. It's the first name. We're great.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, but I think Tatis is leading the majors. No, that's Ohtani. Is leading the NL in home runs.
Home runs, 40.
And I think he's in the top 5 overall and has played like 15 less games than everybody else on the list.
Fair enough.
Or might be even more because of the injury. So it might be like 20 or 30, actually.
I'm just going to say this. If San Diego somehow pulls off some upsets and some win series in this and make it to the playoffs, by the time October comes around when it's the playoff time for that wild card, because it's probably going to be that wild card, I believe half of those players are going to be using rxhemp.com, using that promo code rxhemp/USN.
Michael, would you say that they're using, rxhemp-USN to save you 10% on your entire order because they're feeling a little bit sore?
That's what I'm trying to get through there. Sorry, the comment popped up and I was like, wait, what's going on here? But yeah, I definitely think they're going to have some bumps and bruises and they're going to have to play through it because you have the first ranked strength of schedule. You're going to have to put up with some dingers and actually keep on going with it and keep playing. So yes, go to rxhemp.com, use promo code rxhemp/USN.
It's dash, not slash. Don't worry.
I mean, slash. I mean, it's the same.
No, I said dash.
I know. I'm saying slash or slash. They're both slashes.
No, that's not true. This is a slash, Michael.
I mean, that's a chop.
No, this is a chop straight up and down.
No, who chops like that? Come on, man.
I do when I'm cutting fruit at Hannaford's, baby. Fruit Ninja, they call me.
That's a chop. That's not a chop.
Bam, right here. Fruit Ninja. You want some watermelon? I got you. Bang, 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 bang.
I don't think you cut watermelon like that, do you?
Oh, I do. Yes, I do. It comes pre-cut. Well, all right, no, not pre-cut. It comes outside of the skin. The greens, the what?
How does it come outside of its skin?
I don't know. Ask the people who do it.
So you all sell fruit.
This is true.
And you have a second hand or third party that cuts it out of its green, out of its shell.
Yeah, and then we cut the inside into little cubes and put it and package it up.
So like if you're going to pay someone else to cut it and send to you, why not just, since they have the knife in their hand, go ahead and cut it and put it?
Well, Michael, because I'm sure it's probably more expensive. It's probably another 30 cents expensive, so they save those 30 cents and pay me to do it instead.
Fair enough. Where is my Reds ranked?
All right, Michael, I want you to take a guess first.
Well, they're within, I would say 19 to 30. I would probably.
Oh, wow. Actually, you know what, Michael? Before you do that, this stat just popped up on my Twitter feed, and this is genuinely amazing to me. And that's not only because I'm a Yankees fan. It's just that it's so mind-boggling to me that I can't believe it.
Okay, Homer. I mean, Anthony.
No. I think you'll find it amazing too. And if you don't, I'll be surprised.
Oh, what's up, Unwrapped Sports Network? Thanks for joining. Great show. Thank you.
I mean, it's not like I put that comment up on the screen or anything.
I told you I didn't really see it. God,
what do you think? What do you think the Yankee record against the Twins is since 2002?
Twins is? That's just weird. Since 2002? Okay, tell me how many games.
That would be 100 and I'm not good at math. Wow. Like 46.
Okay, we'll just say 150. We'll say
150. Sure, why not?
Out of 150 games.
Actually, just tell me how many wins you think they have out of 150 wins.
Well, that helps me out a little bit. I would say, I mean, really, the Twins have had some good years, but not a lot. I'm going to say they've won 100 games.
Oh, you were close. The Yankees are 106 and 38 against the Twins.
Wow.
Since 2002.
I would like to see, and this is going to be crazy, but
that includes the postseason, by the way.
Well, I mean, no, it doesn't. Twins can't win in the postseason. They don't.
Well, yeah, they can't win in the postseason because they're busy playing the Yankees.
I would like to see in the past, I'll say 5 to 10 years, what the Reds' record against the Dodgers would be, because it's weird. Like the Dodgers are always great, but the Reds somehow will beat them.
Okay, listen, I'm sure that's a stat you could look up.
I'm sure it could, but I don't feel like it. So I would say the Reds are probably, I'm going to say 21st.
Michael, your Reds are 29th in strength of schedule remaining.
How is that? Because St. Louis and
let's take a look. This is how we'll show you. We'll show you. This is how, Michael. This is how. I mean, you got 4 games against the Marlins coming up,
and we lost 2 to the Cubs.
Yes, you did.
Anyways.
But you won today. That's all that matters.
That's right.
The Marlins can't score a run I mean, they already are getting paid, but if the fate of the universe was on the line, the Marlins still wouldn't be able to score a run.
Hold up. Don't say that.
Michael, I saw the Yankees play them. It was embarrassing. They're not even a major league offense.
We have minor leaguers pitching for our bullpen.
And guess what? The Marlins still won't be able to get a hit off of them.
I guarantee that one run came in 7th inning or later. As we both grab our phones to check it out.
I was going to say, I'm going to look right now. It came in precisely it came in the 4th.
4th inning. Okay.
All right, but Michael, look. You play the Marlins 4 in a row.
Hopefully
then you have Milwaukee. Yeah, that's tough. That is tough.
But that's a big series for us.
That's a huge series. Because how far are you in the division?
9, I think.
Oh, wow. I did not know it was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 games back. Wow. Okay. Milwaukee is a lot better than I thought they would be.
Well, and that's who I picked to win. But Milwaukee's also played Pittsburgh a lot. Like, I don't know if they'd be playing Pittsburgh too many more times in the season. Like, I think they're about Pittsburghed out.
All right, but whatever. You got the games at Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
So, big series. And then you got the Marlins again.
Like, I think Milwaukee, we at least have to win 1. We have to take 1.
No, yeah, you probably should. Then you got St. Louis, which is, not a layup, like we said. Division opponent, you see each other a lot.
And they're playing good.
Yeah.
Landry's looking a lot better.
Goldschmidt and Arenado have been very hot recently. I know that because they're on my fantasy baseball team. And then you got Detroit. Easy. And then you got the Cubs. Should be easy. But you just did lose 2 to them, like you said.
It's never easy against the Cubs.
I know. I said should be. Then you got St. Louis again. Tough. Then you got Pittsburgh for 3.
There we go.
Layup.
There we go.
You got the Dodgers after that, though. That's not what you like to see.
I'm telling you, we will win that series.
Okay. Listen, even better. Then you're not even worried. Because then you get Pittsburgh again.
Yep.
Then you get 4 against Washington, who's not even an MLB team anymore. Then you get the White Sox. Yeah, difficult.
Just 2 games.
But only 2 games.
Just 2 games.
Then you finish the season with Pittsburgh again.
Yes. So how many is that? 3 Pittsburgh. Scroll back up there if you don't
Let's see. That's 3 against Pittsburgh. That's 3 against Pittsburgh. That's 3 against Pittsburgh. So you got 9 games versus Pittsburgh. You have 3,
actually
6. You got 6 remaining with Miami. You got 3 with Detroit. You got 3 with the Cubs. So what is that?
Don't count the Cubs in that.
All right, fine. We won't count the Cubs. But we got Detroit 3, Miami 6, Pittsburgh 9. So what is that? 18 games remaining with teams that are just absolutely dreadful.
That's beautiful.
Listen, Michael, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm taking your Reds.
Don't do it, dude.
Oh, no, I'm doing it.
Corey, do not bet on the Reds.
I'm taking your Reds to get the second wild card.
Let's go.
I can't believe it, but I am. And hey, listen, Michael, I know that they would have to play the Dodgers in that, but you're confident in that anyway.
I am. I really am. I'm confident.
Listen.
What better storyline, too?
A one-game wild card, anything can happen.
What better storyline, too? The Reds, who lost Trevor
The little
Bauer,
engine that could.
but who
goes
lost
up
Trevor
against
Bauer.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, nobody wants Trevor Bauer at the moment, people.
Major league deal with the Dodgers, who I was going to say poops the bed, but I don't really want to talk about Bauer and anything in the bed right now, is not playing for them, who actually just won his restraining order extension. So,
yeah, which has nothing to do with the MLB suspending him, by the way.
Or the criminal
case
that's going on. It was just a civil case to extend his
restraining order.
Yes. So
the woman has against him, of course.
Yes. And upsets them in a one game. But my thing is, if I'm thinking right now, I don't know who we would start as our pitcher against that one game series.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem.
I mean, Wade Miley has been our best pitcher this year.
Mm-hmm.
Wade Miley, who has a perfect game, a no-hitter, fueled by his son's tattoo of the Green Hulk.
The Green Hulk? Is there a different colored Hulk that I'm not aware of?
No, but his son had one of those little fake tattoos that gave him, and he actually wore it during the game.
But yeah, listen, Michael, I'm picking your team. So I got Dodgers Reds in the wild card. Is that what you're going with as well?
Of course.
Okay. I like it. I do.
Oh, my goodness. I just got so pumped, dude. I got to calm down.
All right, Michael. I think we should move on, though. We spent a lot of time on that.
We did. We spent way too much time there.
No, listen. This is the important stuff that is coming down to. What else are we going to talk about besides Freddie Freeman hitting for the cycle?
Freddie freaking Freeman.
This is true.
Like, how old is Freddie Freeman?
I want to say he's 34.
Like, I feel like he's played in the MLB for at least a decade and a half.
Oh, maybe. Absolutely.
And the dude just is 1 year away from winning his MVP, comes up and hits for the cycle at 30-plus years.
Oh, he's only 31, actually.
Well, still, it's 30.
Wow, he's only making $12 million this year?
Yeah, like, he is a cheap product.
That is – he's been in the league since 2010. So, yeah, this is his 11th season.
Oh, wow.
I mean – he only played 20 games in 2010, though, so I won't really count that. 2011 was his first full year.
Okay, so 10 years. Anyways, but what was actually funny, how he got his cycle, I watched the highlight of it, kind of was fake, but I'm going to go with it. They played the shift on him, over shift, which is weird because he's left-handed, but right field was in right center. Like center and right field had shifted over to the left field, sort of fudged that way. And he hit a double through first and second base and got a double out of it because the shift was so far on. He actually got to third, and I thought that was the triple. I almost got upset. But then the next at bat, he did the same thing, hit it over first base head, but it went in that corner there, and they still had the shift on. How he got his single, they didn't have the shift on, so he hit it straight down the line, and the right fielder cut it off. I was like, that is hilarious. I want to say he hit for the cycle by the 6th inning, too. Like
he did. Yep. 6th inning.
So kudos to Freddie freaking Freeman. You are awesome. You possibly deserve another MVP the way you're playing. Just going to say it. Throwing it out there.
It's possible. I mean, I think Tatis is still the front runner, but
I mean, going by storylines, which what they do and I don't like, they lost their best player, Acuna.
Well, Michael, but listen, if you're going based on storylines, like you just said, Tatis is winning it by a mile.
Tatis.
Because could you imagine, the new face of baseball they're trying to create winning the MVP? I mean, Rob Manfred would cry tears.
I agree. But I think Freddie Freeman may deserve it because he's leading a team that is weak. I won't say weak. Short-handed, lost their best player. One guy I can't remember, but was in an abuse.
Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff went on with his Braves, but yet they're in first place now.
This is true.
All because they brought back Adam Duvall, who used to play for the Reds, and Freddie Freeman.
Well, like we said, congrats, Freddie Freeman, hitting for the cycle. And it was a fun conversation yesterday. What would you rather do? Hit for the cycle, hit 4 home runs in a game? Would you rather pitch a no-hitter, hit for the cycle, things like that? I think, listen, the cycle has been hit for 333 times, which still seems like a lot to me. I cannot believe it's been happening that much. Because I feel like it was, baseball's been around for over 100 years, don't get me wrong, but I still feel like it's just not very, heard of. And hitting 3 home runs in a game has only happened 18 times, or 4 home runs in a game, I should say.
Freeman was the stat that I was thinking of earlier when I was about to say it was the Yankees at 13 of 20, but he's actually batted in his last 16 at-bats, 13 of 16, Freddie Freeman. So
now that's what we call impressive.
Yes, he is basically swinging at a beach ball.
What it's like to be in that zone, I will never know.
Seriously, think about that. 13 hits, only 3 strikeouts or out, I'll say. That is pretty good.
Oh, pretty to say the least.
Yeah. MVP. Carry on.
We'll go over to Ohtani, the man who has taken over. Yeah, I was going to say the other MVP. The man who's stolen the hearts of the MLB, hit his 40th homer last night, and is the fastest in Angels history to do that. 8 Ks in 8 innings pitched yesterday, got the win. His ERA is all the way down to a 2.79. I believe he has like a 1.7 ERA since the All-Star break. The man is just on an absolute tear. And, he was one of the favorites to win the MVP this year, but I don't think too many people saw this coming. Like, this is what I do in MLB The Show. Like, this is the video game numbers you put up.
I like that reference. That's pretty good.
Like,
he's playing a game.
No, it is. I mean, you have 40 home runs and a under 3 ERA.
Right.
Like, we've literally just never seen it before.
No.
40 home runs. He's leading the MLB, not the AL, not his team, not his division, the league in home runs while having a 2.79 ERA. I mean, what more do you really want?
This is what I want. I want the guy.
Besides him and Mike Trout in the playoffs.
Anyways, I begged for that all offseason and fell short. But not only that, is this guy doesn't even take batting practice.
Yeah, apparently that is his thing, not taking BP.
How crazy is that? Like, that is a thing that everyone does. Even, I would say, high school, grade school, like batting practice, not so much before a game like that. But, there's some form of batting practice. I'm sure at practice he does some kind of batting practice or working on form or whatnot, batting cage maybe.
Yeah.
But before a game, he does not take batting practice. And I think that alone is amazing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It really, every time I see him, he has a smile on his face. He's baby face. He looks so young. It looks like a kid is out there playing Little League Baseball and having the time of his life. And I absolutely love it.
It's amazing. It really, there's no other word to really describe what he's doing other than that. So.
MVP. And I'll be honest, I was a skeptic at first.
Oh, yeah, so was I. I said in the chat this year when he basically got ran over at home plate that they shouldn't let him pitch because what are you going to do? Let your probably second best hitter, if Mike Trout was healthy, on the team get injured because you're letting him pitch too and he has to field and do all these things. I literally said that they shouldn't let him pitch. Mm-hmm. I'm wrong. There's no other way to describe it.
And Rendon, he's out, correct?
For the season, that is correct.
Right. So, I mean, this is a team that we're dying to see, and we're not seeing them. It kills me because, like I said, I was a doubter at first, even in his past years, not knowing what he was going to be able to do because he just didn't do both. Even coming up, like his I want to say his ERA was almost like 3 or 4 after a game, and it's like, okay, it's starting to climb so much more. It's like, okay, either let him bat because he's doing a marvelous job at the batting side of baseball and take him away from pitching. But then all of a sudden his pitching has come along since the All-Star break, and he is baseball. That's all you can say. Like everything he's doing right now is what we want to see in baseball.
Yeah.
There's not really much more you can say with that other than kudos to them. Glad he's doing it and keep it up.
It's going to be fun to watch.
I hope he can finish us. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I hope he can finish this year staying on top of the game like that. Obviously, I hope he can do it for the rest of his career, but he at least needs to finish this year being the best player.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun to watch, no doubt about it. Hey, Michael, hey, the Brewers are losing right now to the Cardinals 8-4, so, hey.
But see, that's almost a double-headed sword for us. Like, we want the Brewers to lose, but also I want the Cards to lose to stay away from us too.
This is true. Okay. Steve,
hey,
what?
Did you hear about what is going on with the Mets?
Oh, I've heard. And let me tell you something, Michael. I love it.
Okay, I mean,
I like it.
I'm mixed. So, Cohen, as everyone knows, Cohen, the richest man who owns the MLB team now, basically,
this is true,
has
billionaire,
called out his hitters. He basically said,
I got the tweet right here, Michael.
Okay, good. Okay, let's just hear the quote straight from
it. And I quote, "It's hard to understand how professional hitters can be this unproductive. The best teams have a more disciplined approach. The slugging and OPS numbers don't lie." Now, let me tell you something, Michael. That is not just a broadside swipe at your team. You literally said, "I don't understand how professional hitters can be this unproductive." You literally just said they're terrible. Like, he didn't, mince words. He didn't, take a soft approach to it. Mm-hmm. He literally said, "You guys suck."
Well,
and I'm not mad because it's true. Listen, I might, Michael, don't get me wrong. I feel like I might be, and don't get me wrong, I also wasn't alive.
My Instagram just flipped me out. It just said Snoop Dogg started a stream. And I was like, wait, Snoop Dogg like this? Sorry, Instagram, I follow Snoop Dogg because he's awesome.
Well, who doesn't? But I wasn't alive for it. I didn't see it. But, obviously you hear all the stories being a Yankee fan. I've heard of what Steinbrenner used to do. Go into the team meetings and rip apart teams. He would fire managers, 20 games in the season because they weren't off to a start that he liked. He would sit up in the press box, and he had, beat writers' numbers so that he could, curse out players to them so they would write a story about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is what I'm used to, being a Yankee fan and hearing all the stories about it. So I'm not mad that Cohen's doing it, because let me tell you something. If George Steinbrenner had Twitter, I mean, it would be tier 1 comedy.
I'm mixed. I am cut down the middle. I am slashed right down the middle on this, because I need to know more about this. I need to know if he's went to the locker room and did that. Because if you're going to call my team out on live platforms or whatever, you can't just say live TV now because it's social media. It's everything. I better get a butt chewing behind the scenes first. Like, I feel like you go to the head of the snake when you have. Well,
Michael, I'll help you out there.
Okay.
On 8/8, I'm looking at his Twitter right now. Mm-hmm. It says, "I just visited the players in the clubhouse. They are ready and in a good frame of mind for this game." Now, that was August 8th. This is obviously a day ago. And my, oh my, how have things changed?
Right.
Actually, I shouldn't even say that, because things were not going well at any point in August. So maybe not. But
I'm going to say this too, because on my phone here, it says that Scott Cornett is watching this. And Scott, I hope you are, Coach Cornett. If you are, could you type a message out of how you feel on this coming from a coaching standpoint level? And I don't know if it's just kind of showing there that he's still there and it's because he's viewing, but to me, I almost feel like this is something your manager should be doing too. Like, I understand, like, I'm thinking business-like, I guess. Like you have a manager in a manager role who is supposed to take care of the clubhouse. Really? And then you have like the store or the district manager in this case where, hey, you pull the manager in there and say, hey, listen, your team sucks. I'm paying your check. I'm paying their checks. You should either put a fire under their tails and get them going, or you're gone because that's your job. I need to know if all these things happen. Like, did he cross all these things, or is he just wanting to be on social media and be relevant and say these comments?
Well, you see, here's the thing. Apparently, he's a ruthless businessman. Mm-hmm. I mean, first of all, you don't become a billionaire by being the nicest guy in the room, first of all. But, I mean, because, obviously being in the New York market, I hear about him a lot more than other people will. And there was actually a guy who called into the Michael Kay show that I was listening to and said Steve Cohen used to literally make grown men cry on Wall Street trading floors and would just fire them midday, rip them apart on the – like he is a ruthless dude when it comes to business. And what makes you think that his probable –
oh, he's not going to change.
Yeah, what is he going to change for?
But, I mean, even think about that. If that is true that he was that way, that guy was probably making like – I mean, I'm just going to say a number high, $100,000 to be doing what he's doing.
You know what, Michael? Fine, we'll say $2 million. That's still not what any player on the Mets is making.
I'm sorry. If I'm going to treat that guy that way, I'm paying you $100 million.
You're paying Lindor $35 million a year.
Even that, I think you might want to do what I'm asking, and I'm going to expect it. Like,
have you heard of the show Billions or Millions or something like that on HBO? I believe it is.
No.
Apparently that show is based on him.
Oh, okay.
And and I've heard that even the character in that show is ruthless.
Really?
And I mean, so apparently he's just a cutthroat business dude. And what makes you think that a team that he just spent $3 billion on or something like that, he's going to suddenly change his plan and be Mr. Nice Guy? You're wrong.
Right. That's going to be tough, though. That's going to be tough because, players aren't used to – they're used to a butt chewing, don't get me wrong. But they're not used to someone down your throat that much in this I'm not saying anyone's off. I'm not saying Gen Zs can't do all this. But when you're making that much money, I don't think that's the right
thing. No, you're absolutely coddled.
Right.
So, if you're making this much money playing in the MLB, you have been the best player on your team your entire life.
Right.
And nobody has ever tried to annoy you, piss you off, get you mad, anything, because they don't want to upset the apple cart and they don't want you to, oh, you know what, I'm just going to leave. I can play anywhere. I'm better. So you're absolutely coddled. There's no doubt in my mind. Listen, I am Gen Z. I'm literally textbook Gen Z.
For real.
People are not – players and things like that are not treated the same as they were in the 80s and stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
yeah, my time.
You were screamed at before. Now you scream at somebody. Their parent is there. Why are you yelling at my kid? Like, shut up, lady. Okay, first of all. That's why I don't think I'll ever be able to be a coach, Michael. I really want to be. Like, when I have a child, I really want to coach them. But I feel like if I yell at somebody else's kid, I'm going to have to get into a fight with somebody. Well, I don't think that's approved at Little League fields. I really don't.
I will tell you this. I coached a couple years ago at my Christian school here where we had like 2nd through 6th grade, and it was very hard to keep my temper under wrap. And there was not very many fans at these games, so it was quiet. So I tried to learn how to yell in a whisper form, and it's very tough because you can't be like, you suck. It's going to be like, you got to get it together because this is awful. It's very hard.
Yeah, Michael, I have a story I can tell you about when I umpired my senior year of high school, but I'll have to tell you after the show.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to tell you after. Unless I could bleep out. I'll bleep out some words. I'll do this.
I appreciate that.
So, Michael, it's
is that how you start stories?
Softball. It's a softball we're talking about. I think they're about 10 years old.
Okay.
No. Yeah, 9, 10 years old.
Okay.
And I'm umpiring the field. There's a kid behind home plate. There's a play at the plate. He calls her out. Now the coach comes out to argue. Oh, I think she's safe. Blah, blah, blah. The kid, he goes, all right, can you talk to the other umpire at least? So he comes, talks to me. I'm like, bro, I'm at shortstop. I have no idea what happened at the plate. That's your call. Just stick with your call. He's like, oh, I don't know. She might have been safe, man. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, just stick with your call because you're going to cause a ruckus. He goes back, changes the call to safe. I'm oh my God, this is just not going to be good. So now,
because not only that, it looked like you.
No, not even that. Because now it looks like the coach actually convinced him that she was safe instead of out. So now the other coach comes out. He's yelling at the kid, how are you going to change the call, blah, blah, blah. Now the other coach comes out, I'm not going to have you yelling at the umpires, blah, blah, blah. So now they're yelling back and forth for, a solid 2 minutes. Now, I'm like, I don't have patience. Patience is not one of my traits. I'm sorry. I just don't have it. They say patience is a virtue. I was not granted that. So I'm standing at shortstop in the middle of the field, where everybody can see me, hear me. And I'm getting a little annoyed now. What's going on? So I finally yell, hey, shut up and get back in the dugout.
Shut the Coke up. Gotcha.
Yeah. Shut the Gatorade bottle up, get back in the dugout. And you should have seen every parent stare at me. I'm like, bro, these kids are 8 years old. I'm like, you're taking it this serious. They're 8. Go home. Go to sleep. Take a nap.
I mean, I know we're here to talk about the MLB, but Little Leagues.
Little League World Series is lit. Little League World Series might be one of the best things on television, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
It's so organic. That's why we love it.
It is. It just brings you back to the childhood days, man.
Kind of like the last week's game, the Field of Dreams. It kind of brought you back there. But the Little League makes you back there so much.
What I would have done in life to be able to play in the Little League World Series? Like, do you know how fun that looks?
Oh, man. And I love the little kid that had what was his favorite subject, and it said had a crush on his teacher.
Yeah.
Here's you, Miss Stevens, or something like that.
He was like, has a crush on Miss Stevens.
Yes.
Oh, God, I love the Little League World Series.
But I'm going to take it further. The Little League that's local, it's parents that what makes it bad.
Oh, yeah, no. It's always the parents that make it difficult. Like, I remember I did this is another one. I did behind home plate. Mm-hmm. Now, these kids were like 7 because it was like first pitch. It was the first year that they were pitching. So they're like 7. And listen, you got to expand the strike zone in those games because if you don't, you're going to be there for 73 hours.
Listen, I used to get a home run off of a walk. I used to love it. It was against a team. We ended up beating them, and I remember it because it was just a game. We beat them 31-1, and my dad was the coach, and he fussed at me afterwards, but I had to try it because one of the players dared me. And they said, as soon as you get walked, you won't try to steal second. I said, it is on. Got walked, took off sprinting, got to second. They threw it to center field, took third. They threw it almost out of the field there and scored home off of a walk. And I did it 2 times that game, and my dad was mad.
See, I would be all for it. But anyway,
of course,
I expand the strike zone. Listen, you got to play. What if they came back from a 31-1 deficit?
You couldn't even say it with a straight face. I just dropped my phone.
But I'm doing the plate now, and I call a strike that's probably a little high. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Guess what? Like I said, you got to expand the strike zone. So then the next – actually, you know what? I'm not even going to say that. This one was a strike. It was a strike. I will stick to it to this day. It was a strike.
That's why you called it a strike.
And so the next pitch is high, and the kid swings at it almost at his head. Now, even I'm not going to call that. And the coach comes out. He's like, you see what you do? Calling high. Really, bro? You're going to sit here and argue with me for a 7-year-old game.
Uh-huh.
If I could have punched him right in the throat, I would have, Michael.
I mean, what I heard and it's a TikTok video, the fan actually, it's like a mom that says, oh, are you mad because the players are taller than you? And the throws his ball and takes off. That. Like, I don't blame him, but the line that he chose to leave on was pretty weak. But I bet you there was a lot more that was said before then.
Like, if I'm him, I'm absolutely roasting her back. I would have said,
do that.
I would have. But listen, sometimes you have to. It's like when there's hecklers at a comedy show and the comic finally has enough and says, well, guess what? That's why you're ugly. Eventually you just have to.
What I would have done, I would have done it silently. Like I would have listened to her, figure out who her son was. Like, oh, go baby, go baby. First pitch, I wouldn't care if it touched the dirt.
Oh yeah, strike.
Strike.
You're not wrong. That's a good one. That's not bad.
That's what I would have done.
But Michael, I want you to Actually, no, Michael, I'm calling this our final topic because I think this one's interesting. And I know we have more, but we could also do that another time because, listen, it's already been an hour. And, but this is a big story, Michael, that the league is setting to lower the salary cap floor to $100 million. And they want to lower the cap to 180. Now, technically, there's no cap in the MLB. This is more of like where the
ain't no cap in the MLB, baby.
No, ain't no cap in my rap. It's a song, by the way, Michael. Don't worry.
That doesn't sound good, but
ain't no cap in my rap. Hey, great song.
Can you explain what he means by that?
What?
There ain't no cap in my rap.
He's not lying when he's rapping.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was really off, but when I said it the last time, it kind of hit rap.
Ain't no cap in my rap. Yeah.
I was thinking WRAP, like I thought rap, like
Yeah, no, we're not saran wrapping things. So there's no cap in the MLB. It's more of it's a luxury tax.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's what they mean by cap, because I don't think they're just gonna all of a sudden make a cap in the MLB. Because I think right now it's at 200 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the floor is at, honestly.
There's not a floor.
There isn't one?
No.
All right. So
I'm pretty sure. I could be lying, but I'm pretty sure there's
no. I think I feel like that's correct. I really do. Hold on, I got to do some research real quick. MLB salary. Oh no, the salary does not have two S's in it. Salary cap. All right. Or no, not salary cap. We want salary
floors.
No. I want to see what everybody's at right now. A payroll tracker. There we go, baby.
I know. Shoot. Let me see. All
right.
So
here we go, Michael.
Cleveland is at 48 million.
The
full roster.
Yeah, the lowest payroll in the MLB right now is 48 million by the Cleveland Indians, followed by.
Oh, are they the lowest?
Oh yeah. Followed by Baltimore at 52, the Pirates at 54, Miami Marlins at 57. Then there's a nice little jump to the Tampa Bay Rays at 70 million.
The first place team, 70 million.
This is very true. The Rays are just they're in the Yankees division, so I hate them. But if I wasn't a Yankee fan, the Rays are very impressive.
Could you imagine if they were in a different division?
Well, it doesn't matter. They're in this division, still 5 games ahead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they would probably be like 10 to 15 ahead.
True, because this division's actually difficult. Like if they were in the NL East, they would already have 90 wins.
Wow. Let's not go there. Let's stay the course.
I don't know. The NL East is pretty terrible.
Let's just say this. If they're in the NL East, I would already went to mybookie.ag and used promo code USN100 and placed all my $1,000 plus the $1,000 that would be doubled on my first deposit and put down for Tampa Bay to win the NL East by like 20 games. Again, guys, for you bettors out there, go to mybookie.ag, use promo code USN100, and me and Connie will double your very first deposit up to $1,000.
This is simply not true.
I mean, it will be double, but it's not bottom.
It's just not. It's not my money. So yeah, you got a few teams there that would have to increase their spending.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't know exactly the point of it, because it's not like you have a bunch of teams under it, and that's the reason they're losing. Like, don't get me wrong, all the teams with a low payroll are not very good. Obviously, the Marlins are not good. The Pirates are terrible. Fair. Orioles are terrible. The Indians are in second place in their division. The Mariners, they're fighting for a wild card, you could technically say. And then here's the other thing, though, Michael. Mm-hmm. They want to put the cap at 180. Yeah. Do you know what the Dodger payroll is right now?
I want to say it's 220.
You wish it was 220.
Is it more than that?
Michael, the Dodger payroll is $267 million.
Like, how do they fix that? Like, I mean, if the cap's here, like, what can you do? Oh, I'm sorry, we can't sign you back or pay you this year. Got to let you go.
I mean, even the Yankees are at 203.
Mm-hmm.
The Mets are at 197. The Astros at 191. The Phillies are at 183. The Red Sox are at 181. The Angels, I cannot believe the Angels have that high of a payroll and still suck. That's definitely just because of Mike Trout and Rendon. Are at 180. So I mean, you got 7 teams right there that have to come down. And like I said, it's more of like a luxury tax. So I guess if you're under the 200 mark, then, it resets the tax and everything like that. But this is, not
and I don't
something
really
to just take lightly.
Tax, but
the luxury tax. So if you're over it for like the more times you're over it, like the longer amount of time, you lose. Your draft picks get. I don't know if they get taken away or you just lose spots in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You have to obviously pay the luxury tax, which goes to the lesser teams. And I believe you lose international signing bonus money. So it's things like that.
So who gets the money?
I think it's spread out to all the teams. I believe.
So, and I know we're already got long in the show, but just give me 10 seconds. So let's just say every team says we're going to make a payroll over 200 million, and then they pay the luxury tax that everyone would still get probably their money back then, right?
Well, I would assume that there's some rule written for that. That if that was to happen, like nobody would have to pay. Right? I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know how it works. It's just that'll never happen, so we don't have to worry about it.
Agreed, because the Reds ain't paying that much. I don't see how the Reds can. How can we even get up to the floor? Like, how does that work,
Michael? The Reds have $125 million payroll.
Okay.
They're 16th in the league. They're right in the middle.
Well, that's because we've got Votto. I mean, if we get rid of Votto, I think he's like 20% of our salary, but that's not happening. So continue.
But yeah, it's just an interesting thing that the MLB is looking at. I don't know if you had any thoughts on it.
I just think it's weird that we have a team in the Tampa Bay Rays that are, what'd you say, 60 million, somewhere in that area, 64
70
million, I think, who is highly ranked in your betting world to win the World Series.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have, like the third best record in baseball?
Yeah, or second, or tied for second, I think we said. No, Tampa Bay had first, and then it was White Sox and.
Well, that's in the AL.
Oh, okay.
Because all right, so Tampa has 75 wins, the Giants have 78, and then the Dodgers have 75.
Okay.
So yeah,
but still, even the Giants, I say they're pretty low on this list too.
The Giants are.
Matter of fact, let's just do this. While you look at that, I'm going to call you out some teams to tell me.
Okay. Let's see. I can't even find the Giants right now. Am I blind? Why can I not find them?
Maybe San
Francisco. 10th.
Okay. 10th highest or 10th lowest?
No, they are number 10.
As in?
Like what, ranked 1 to 30, they're 10.
How much is their payroll?
159 million.
Okay. So they're pretty high then. Okay.
Yeah, they're 10th. The Dodgers are 1.
Well, that's what I was asking. Okay. I'm with you.
Wouldn't that make sense?
I'm with you now. Now it does. I didn't know if it was like 10 as in like the 10th lowest or no. So they're going with the highest rate. Okay, I'm with you now. So the Rays are number 1 in the East, and they had 74, I think you said.
70.
Okay, what's the White Sox?
The White Sox currently are the 15th. They're literally the middle of the league. Okay. They have $141 million payroll.
Okay. And the Astros are number 1 in the West. AL
the Astros have the 4th highest payroll at 191.
Okay. Oh, wow. What are the Athletics, Oakland?
The A's are currently 22nd, have an $88 million payroll.
Okay, so they're pretty low, and they're a relevant team. What about the Braves? I say they're pretty high.
The Braves are 13th, 147.
Okay. Let's go with the Brewers.
The Brewers are currently 19 with a 96 million.
So most of them are high or mid.
Yeah.
You agree? So, I mean, you would think it would be all high. So I'm happy that some of these mid-level are good.
See, that's why I don't like the argument that lower level, that teams that don't spend a lot can't win. Like, that's just not true.
It is true, but it isn't. I mean, I totally agree with you, but at the same time, the only team that is very low that is good is Tampa Bay, year in, year out.
Oh, now you're right. But let's look at some other things too. The Orioles are low on this list, but they're rebuilding. The Indians are low on this list, but they're rebuilding.
Right.
The Pirates rebuilding. The Marlins rebuilding. The Royals rebuilding. Tigers rebuilding. So, like, the Diamondbacks rebuilding. Rangers rebuilding. So, like, all the teams that are low aren't spending money because they're bad. So there's no point in spending money anyway. Like, like why would the Orioles go out and you know, this upcoming year, you know, Carlos Correa is going to be a free agent. Why would they go out and spend $40 million on Carlos Correa to be fifth in the division? So obviously, like, that's why they have a low payroll. Now, if their prospects came up, all of a sudden, you know, they were 2 or 3 pieces away, I would bet my entire bank account that they don't have the 29th lowest payroll in the MLB anymore. They'd probably be in the 15, you know, 10 area.
But I would like to see see if you can look this up. Can you look up and see how much each team is worth or how much they bring in? Because, I mean, we've even done this before in the preseason, talking about, I want to say, like, the average ticket for a Reds game was like $20, but the average ticket for a Yankee game was like $70. It was something a lot higher.
I can't think of the word. What's the word that I'm looking for here?
Use it in
value. There we go.
Value.
All right, so let's see. MLB franchise value. Is there a list? Please tell me there's a list. All right. Well, we'll see this.
Probably could have done revenue, maybe. But...
No, because I want to know how much they're worth.
Okay.
So who do you want to know?
Is there a list?
There is a list. So the Yankees are worth the most.
Right.
5.2.
Followed by the Dodgers.
5.2. See, this says million, though, and I don't think that's true. Yeah.
That's billion.
It says in million US dollars. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not right.
I mean, go ahead and look at the Mets. What are they? They got to be 3.4 million or billion because that's what paid, right?
Mets are 2. Let me find a different list.
Yeah, this list sounds pitiful. Like your
MLB. That's just simply not true.
Guys, while he looks for that, let me go ahead and say this last one. I will try to share my screen with you real quick. How about that? Let's step up my game. Have you found something already?
No, because I'm still not using the right word with value. There's a word I want to use. I can't think of it.
Revenue.
No, it's not revenue. It's
because revenue is how much money they bring in.
No, but I want to know how much the team is worth, not how much money they make a year. Because that's a different thing.
I guess. Anyways, go to patreon.com/Unwrap Sports, and we have 3 tiers that we'd love for your membership to be joining us with. As you can see here on your screen, 1 month is $1. You can join, just basically say you're a fan. $5 a month gives you 10% off their Patreon code for the Teespring shop, which is teespring.com/store/unwrapped. And also it gives you access to our 24/7 Patreon-only Discord chats. Obviously, any of these we would greatly appreciate and love every support you give us, but we really try to push our Unwrapped VIP, $10 per month. Not only do you get that discount of 10% off our Teesprings, but this one with the $10 per month, you get 20% off access to our Discord chat, but also in this one, you can interact with us and engage in our chat. We also have a discount code for the shop. I already said that. Sorry.
Okay, here we go.
We also have a memorabilia that we give away each month. We just started a new month probably a couple weeks ago, so I'm not 100% sure what that giveaway is, but in the times past, we have given away some really cool items, some signed jerseys, signed helmet. I really want us to do a baseball card sign soon, but it just hasn't happened yet since it's baseball season. But go to all those, patreon.com/Unwrap Sports.
All right, so this is the Forbes list.
Can you share it?
I can. Let me do that. Let's go to share. Let's go to share screen.
Point.
Let's go to here, and we'll go there, and now we're here.
Bam! There we go.
Let's go down to the list, though. There you go. Here's the list.
But look at that jump, man.
Well, I mean,
that is almost $2 billion less.
It's the Yankees, baby.
Yes.
In the New York market.
I mean, I would think the Dodgers would be a bigger market.
Yeah, I can't believe the Dodgers aren't higher. See, but here's the thing, Michael, too. This is what they value them at. They are always sold at a higher price than what the value is. Always.
Well, I mean, even the Mets, they were sold for another $1 billion of what
let's see. Let's take a look here. How much did Derek Jeter buy the Marlins for? Derek Jeter paid $1.2 billion for the Marlins, right?
Okay.
According to this list, the Marlins are worth $990 million, not billion, because the rest of these are billions. But he paid 1.2 for it.
Wow. Tampa Bay is that far down the list.
You know what's funny, Michael, too? You know that the Rays have the highest TV rating in the MLB?
I think Tampa Bay is too scattered. Like one of our points, guys, that we were going to talk about, as I'll pull it up real quick.
Michael, you know what I think it really is?
What's that?
Everybody's old. It's Florida.
I mean, it's retirement home. Let's see here. Tampa Bay, yesterday's game with the second best record in baseball, and of course they were playing the Orioles, and it was a Wednesday game. The in attendance only had 6,600 people in attendance.
Yeah, the Yankees had 44,000 today.
Today's game, I seen the same guy post today's, and it was 56,000.
Well, which is kind of funny too, because in the playoffs they actually do show up.
Yeah,
it's just during the regular season nobody goes.
I mean, could it be because it's Tampa? Like, okay, do I want to go into a stadium when the weather is pretty nice?
I think it's that, and like I said, everybody's old.
It is just mind-blowing.
But like I said, they have the highest TV rating.
What's these 1, 3 zeros and ones over here to the far right?
Yeah, that I don't understand. I think that's like the percent change in the last 5 years, or 1 year percent change.
Okay, so it increases that.
Damn, 1%. The Yankees went up 5% from last year. That's not like a small jump when you're talking billions, by the way.
No, absolutely not. So let's see here. Yankees good, Dodgers good, Red Sox are good, Cubs suck. Giants, sure. I wouldn't have thought they were this high up here.
Me neither.
Mets, not so good. Who knows what's going on? Cardinals, they're coming around. Phillies are not. Yankees, Angels are not. Nationals are not. Braves are good. Astros have the second highest payroll, was it?
Fourth, I think.
Fourth highest payroll, and they are.
Yeah, fourth.
Wow, their value is not very high. I would have thought the Blue Jays would have been more.
Yeah.
But I guess different country may hinder that some.
Yeah.
And even with them not being there last year.
Padres being all the way down here is kind of surprising to me.
They have jumped 3% in the past year or two, though. So
this is true.
They are a new face team coming. They're an older team, but they're being better. So, I mean, I just don't see how some of these teams can come up with payroll to afford good teams. I mean, $1 billion in my Reds compared to $5 billion in the Yankees.
Yeah,
their payroll.
Something.
Their payroll was 120,000, I think.
Million. No.
Yeah, 100 million. Yeah, 100 million, 120 million. So that's like, I don't know, 10%, I guess, of what we're worth.
Yeah, it's weird. It is weird.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, I'm going to stop sharing that, but hey, you know, Michael, I think this was a great show.
I do too. We was random. We talked a little bit of what did we even start the show off talking about?
Kids
in school. My kids in school. Alex was on.
Who knows? No, go listen to the podcast. You'll find out, people.
There we go.
Exactly. Well, you know, Michael, with that being said, we'll end it there. You got anything for the people before we go?
I have sad news to tell everyone, because I know everyone that watches this show or listens on the podcast or goes to YouTube and subscribes and hits the subscribe button and the notification bell, bing, that our show this Saturday for Count the Bucket will not happen.
Oh.
Amber's got some great news. She's moving your way, actually. So we're not going to be able to do the show this week. Next week, I'm going to try to see if I can get a co-host with me. I'm not going to lie. I've got a fantasy draft that I'm doing Saturday, so that's another reason why I'm not going to do it. But so I'm sorry you will only see my beautiful face right now or hear my voice right now on the podcast for this week. Next week is a different story.
That's it? That's all you
Go
got?
follow me on Twitter, MDLawson00. Also, please, everyone, go out and, like I said, follow us on YouTube, and also go to Backstop Banter on Twitter. We're trying to get our followers up, and I think we did a pretty good job the past couple of days.
Yeah, I saw that we welcomed some new people.
Had 15 join. Of course, there's a little bit of a MLB Twitter follow back thing going on, but that works.
Okay. Now, listen, you got to do what you got to do when you're starting out new.
That's right.
But with that being said, you know where to find me by now. Anthony Conover _ on Twitter. Gen Z Sports for the pod. We're doing a nice little giveaway over there, so go make sure you check it out. Listen, Michael, we can do it too. Calm yourself down. I've been trying to do giveaways for months now, and nobody ever listens to me, so we just decided to do it ourselves.
Beautiful.
What else am I looking at? What else do I do? Oh, Generational Sports at 7 Eastern. The hard count is Tuesdays at 9 Eastern. Obviously, football season is right around the corner.
I watched a whole live draft on ESPN or fantasy.
Listen, I said this on Monday because that's when it started. For all the stuff people say about ESPN, their fantasy football marathon each year is fantastic. I love their fantasy football content. I
had to change my name to one that they shared because I have Mahomes on there. And they were like, "Take me home, country." Or what was it? Country Road. Take me, Mahomes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So that's my football name.
But yeah, and obviously me and Michael do this on Thursdays. But other than that, make sure you check us out. Michael, fantastic show. I thank everybody for joining, watching us. Make sure you check out the pod. But until then, we will see you next week.